Welcome back.
If you lose all that gold content.
It's still there.
And now we're just talking all over Luke. He's trying to do his intro.
Trying to do my intro. I have no idea. It's okay. I had no idea what I was saying this week. I was going to complain about my tattoo.
Welcome to Multiple Nerdgasm with your hosts, Matt, Luke, and Dan. Multiple Nerdgasm, your guide to all things nerdy.
Oh, yeah, what'd you get?
Because I saw on social media that you were getting a tattoo and you can complain about it.
I got 2 tattoos.
Okay.
I got Wedge Antilles' helmet.
Okay.
And I got Rick Hunter's helmet.
Okay, so that's the left and the right testicle, yes?
Yes.
Who's Rick
Well, no,
Hunter?
actually, I've got Rick Hunter. So it's a Robotech helmet on my left, sort of here, which is very hard when I'm leaning on a chair.
He's pointing to his testicles.
Yes. Makes it very hard when leaning on a chair, and I keep knocking it at the moment.
Mm-hmm. His testicle.
But is what it is.
Yeah.
A testicle. Why is that VB red?
Oh, this is VX.
Extra strength, Matt.
Okay.
So it's got more alcohol content, but it's in a throwdown size.
Yeah, VB looked at their demographic and went, what do people want more of? They want to get drunk quicker. We will make the bottles smaller.
We've got
but
2
more
options.
potent.
One,
we
could make it taste better, or 2, we could just
fuck off. VB,
make it.
No, VB
I'm
is
joking.
great.
I'm joking.
No, it's got a very bad reputation. It's got a reputation.
Yeah.
No, it's
Beer snobs just look down on VB just because it's a cool thing to do.
yeah. See,
No,
I
but it's
consider
trendy
myself
now.
somewhat of a beer snob, but I not really. Depends where you go. You know, working class people look down on it now too, mate.
Really?
Yeah, they're all on their XPAs and stuff now.
Okay.
You want to know what was weird? I went to Melbourne, like Victoria, and could not find VB on tap.
Were you bitter about it?
I was very
Whoa.
bitter.
There's the champagne comedy.
So we've got some follow-up news this week.
Yes.
And I want to talk about the charity one, the Open Hand charity, because there's more stuff about that, which
I meant to put that in, yeah.
It's very different to what we were thinking last week when they're going, hey,
When we
these
were
guys
giving
raised
them
money,
the
but they've
benefit
still
of the
kept
doubt.
the money. So it's all fine. Like it's not great, but now it's sort of come out that maybe they haven't kept all the money.
Yeah, I saw Carl posted a video saying it's worse than we thought. I was like, I mean, how bad could it be? It's very bad. Potentially.
Potentially, yes. So evidently, like, while the money from like one of their sort of streams,
Indieland. The Indieland money, all the stuff we talked about last time is accounted for. It's according to their tax returns, it's in a bank account.
Yeah. So
that's fine.
That's
No
fine.
one ever lies on their tax returns.
Yeah. So what's the problem then, Luke?
Well, that's not the only place where they raise money. There's other ways to do it. Like they have this golf tournament thing that they run every year, which even when they were getting how much in the past, they used to say, hey, we raised $10,000 to $30,000, but then they sort of stopped announcing that. But that money is not accounted for at all.
Yeah, and there are some years apparently where it could be up to like 60 grand is just gone.
And then
somewhere.
there's other things where this charity's been taking grants from other charities as well.
Yes, from Jamie Lee Curtis's charity.
Yeah.
They took 25 grand they got one year. Where's that gone?
Yeah.
Not in the bank account.
They've just gone radio silent now. They came out and made sort of one thing, but now it's just nothing. And I think way Carl's explaining it is goes like, you could sort of not forget. It's now very dodgy. Like now it's they're hiding something. This
he was
isn't
saying
a simple mistake.
At first they were like, why aren't they just addressing this? Why don't they just give the money to the charities that they said like this could be so simple to fix? Why are they just like hiding? And then it turns out probably because they were like, fuck. Well, hopefully no one notices. No, not that money. The money that they're talking about in this video, that's fine. Hopefully they don't notice the other stuff or we're fucked.
Yeah. The other stuff that was like, because in the golf tournament, like they'll have people buy, like, you know how you have like a charity thing and like companies will buy tables.
Sure.
So someone comes to between like $8,000 each on a table and there's quite a bit. So that's all there. That money not accounted for anymore. Just collected
They
and
moved into really nice houses during that time and started driving really nice cars? Like, are we literally thinking they embezzled the money and are spending them on themselves? Is that
he stops short of like saying, we don't know what they did with it. He said, but he said at this point, the authorities need to investigate this because it's very suspicious.
Yeah. And it's also sort of hard with, especially with YouTubers, like, yes, they might start going to nice houses, but a lot of YouTubers do that.
Yeah.
Without running charities. And
the guy, what's his name? The Completionist, who's kind of the face of it on YouTube. He's a very successful YouTuber and presumably makes a lot of money at that. So it's just, yeah.
Yeah. So we have to wait and see. But because I don't think it is just a nice, simple, I don't think it's an accident anymore, as what I was sort of thinking last week, that people got a bit confused.
But surely, as you say, there is some money there. Why don't they just distribute that so that it takes the pressure off? Like a week ago before they started looking deeper into it.
Yeah, I think he was saying that their theory is he was just hoping that if they just shut up and don't do anything, maybe it'll go away. But if they start giving out the money, it's going to draw more attention to it because then people will be like,
I have a different theory.
Sounds like they've been wrong.
I have a different theory. I think they're holding on to it now because they know they're going to be investigated and they need some money to show for it, and they can try and fiddle the books a little bit.
Because the thing with the golf tournament is that the sponsors are not, like people on the internet. The sponsors are Monster Energy Drink, Coca-Cola, fucking like big companies. And if they find out you misused money that they gave you for charity, that could be a big problem for you. Because they got legal teams that will destroy you, because then they might get in trouble. You know what I mean? So they're just going to be like, well, fuck you. We're not taking any responsibility for this shit.
Well, yeah, like we donate that money. We want that money back and we will actually donate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's all a bit of a mess. It's crazy. But it's still a weird one where looks like money has gone, but there's still money in the account. Like it's not like just a straight we've taken everything type of thing, which
weird.
is normally.
Yeah, I wonder if people sort of know what the fuck are they doing. Like, what are you doing? Like, it's weird.
A lot of things like this, what will tend to happen is people sort of will take a little bit out of the fund and go, oh, I got away with it. And then it slowly just turns into their account and then, it's all gone.
Yeah. Yeah, and they were pretty good about it too, because they were saying the golf tournament's been going for a while, and it wasn't until this Open Hand charity was founded in 2016 or 17, and then it started getting included on the posters as this is where the money's going. Yep. And so what he's saying is the golf tournament could have been a scam or whatever it is for 15 years before that, for all we know. There's no way of knowing, but what we do know is, looking at the tax returns for the Open Hand charity, the money didn't go there. So where is it?
And they it was weird. Like they used to announce how much money they got, but the second it came part of things, they stopped announcing how much money they were making each year for it.
So weird. Yeah.
Guys, we couldn't even make money off our Kickstarter. Like,
I know. We're too
terrible at investing money.
I know that sounds like, self-congratulatory, but we are too honest. Yeah. I could never do something like that.
Because we don't care about money. Like, and we each have a little bit. We worked out how to spend it.
I care about it, but if I was to say to raise money, I would
people. I certainly wouldn't say, it's dementia because my mum died of dementia and I'm just so heartbroken because I've loved my mum and it's a scam. But that's gross.
Yeah, if we were to raise money, we would donate it all immediately because that's just what you do. That's the whole idea behind it.
I wouldn't want it sitting around.
No.
To be honest.
No. Yeah, we would launder that money as quickly as we could.
Too tempting.
Clean that up.
Yeah, I would throw the money in the back of my Ferrari, which doesn't have a back.
Yeah, that's right.
It's got a front.
In the basement of your new house.
That's right. Take it to the bank and say, put this in my bank account. I mean, my charity's bank account.
See, there's some fault news. If we hear anything else, we might talk about it again because it's so weird. I'm just fascinated by it.
We'll hear about it again. I guarantee it. There'll be more coming out of this.
Oh, yeah. I would assume so. Yeah, well, Carl's not going to let it go.
No,
and also, Ordinary Gamer is going to be doing another video about it too, which will get even more attention too. I think he's got an even bigger audience than Carl. Ordinary Gamers have got a huge audience. So
yeah, and evidently what Carl's saying, he goes into a bit more detail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we watched the entertainment portion of it. He goes into the
Carl's like the highlights for me.
Yeah,
it's like this is what I need to know, and then if I want to go, know more, I'll go watch. Yeah.
Depends how invested I am, how much time I have.
This episode of Multiple Nerdgasm brought to you by Carl Jobst. Just kidding.
We do need to support him because remember, he is getting sued and it's costing him a lot of money.
Yeah, he's being sued by Billy Mitchell, Dan.
Okay. For saying bad shit about him.
Correct.
For saying the truth.
Yes.
Yeah, that he was a cheat. That he's a cheat and should have his title stripped. Yeah, well, I mean, I'll say it. You're going to come at me, Billy?
He might.
I love you, Billy. I do love you. And I do love eating in a restaurant.
Who Billy targets seems to be quite random.
Sure.
I think he goes after people that he thinks are big enough that he can sort of, people will take notice of, but not big enough that he can worry about them having the financial things to support. Like, if you look at Moist Critical, he calls him out all the time and goes, sue me. But I think Billy knows that he does have support, whereas Carl had to raise a lot of money to fight
he had to do a...
oh, really? That's not good.
Like a GoFundMe or something?
Yeah.
For legal fees. Yeah.
And it's a lot of money to defend it.
Yeah, because the Billy Mitchell's got money.
Calm down, Billy. Calm down.
He will not. This is all he
The
has.
restaurant's going well. You had your moment. You had your 15 minutes. We think you're funny.
All he had to do was just go, look, I didn't cheat. I don't know what they're talking about. And just leave it at that. And still go around calling himself...
proof was what condemned him.
Yes.
Like, just kept bringing it back and trying to be... Just go, it's all lies. Doesn't matter if you're on the Twin Galaxies website. It's a website.
Can't help himself.
That's right. It's not official. And I think...
Well, it is official.
It's not official, though, is it? Like, it's not... Like...
No.
It's not the Guinness Book of Records, right?
But even the Guinness Book of Records
retract.
It's not even official too. Your Guinness Book of Records, there's different types of records, but like
we can give out official records if we want, and just say
pay them, and they will come and officiate over you getting your record. Like it's not like they're not performing a service to humanity. It's a business.
Someone has pushed an orange with their nose.
Yeah, and if you give them money, then they'll come and watch you do it and go, "Yeah, you did it." But like, it's not. They're not, altruistic or anything. It's like. There was that video by
Galaxies.
It's very similar. That's what I'm saying is that it's kind of the same thing. Yeah, it's like there's a video by H Bomber Guy about the oof sound. Did you watch that video?
No.
The oof sound from Roblox. Jesus Christ! This video goes for like 3 hours, but it's incredible.
I heard something about it
because it turns into him investigating the guy who claims to have made that sound originally, and it goes on to this guy's just like full of shit. And it's a similar thing where he's got all these, he says he's got 7 Guinness World Records, but like 2 of them are duplicates because he just got certificates for the same thing. And also they're ones that he just paid to have them issued to him for like some obscurant thing. Okay. And like, yeah.
You know something funny? I actually probably hide Twin Galaxies to a higher standard than I would the Guinness Book of World Records.
Well, I personally probably would as well, just because.
Well, a lot of this
paid more attention to that over the years.
Well, a lot of, even if you look at a lot of speed running sort of records and stuff, I'll probably hold them to a higher standard because they do investigation and make sure that.
That's right. Yeah, they bust those guys
just take them a VHS tape and they'll put you on the top of this.
I gotta say the way I've seen videos of them how they caught people cheating at speed runs, far out, man. They put so much effort into like making sure that stuff's legit.
Mm-hmm.
And then recording when they confront them, so for posterity, like so that you can, have it on record what they said.
I think I started watching that from Carl's channel when he was starting to talk about it and some of the cheaters and stuff.
That's where I saw it. Yeah,
and they'll go like every time they find a new way of people cheating, there's just a new way that comes out. So like they're splicing of records, and they started to be able to find that with like the audio is a good giveaway a lot of time when the video's been spliced, and then it would be something like if you go onto this screen, this icon should be here and not here, or it's
there was one where they confronted this guy and they were like, at 30 minutes and 47 seconds, this counter down in the bottom corner jumps 2 seconds. Like, what happened there? And the guy's like, oh, I don't know. And they're like, well, that's a problem.
We know what happened. Yeah.
But yeah, they spent hundreds of hours going into this.
I won't even cheat at a video game only I'm playing. You know what I mean? Like, I feel dodgy about that.
I guess it's like fortuitous. And because some of these games, it's like the Call of Duty zombie, like, who gives a shit?
Yeah, who gives a shit?
Well, that's why, like, it's just, you get bragging rights to be, hey, I'm the best for something that is only really big in your community.
I mean, I guess it's the same with sports and drugs, right? And I thought it was very interesting in Schwarzenegger's book when he said, I took steroids. You know why? Because everyone started taking steroids and I wasn't going to let my morality around drugs stop me from winning. Like, if a guy was going to beat me because he took steroids and I didn't, well, then it was a no-brainer. I'm taking steroids.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know. Cheating in video games, I think it's different.
Feels different.
But there's big money in it.
It's because you care about it.
Selling cheats.
Well, and it's ironic, Luke, because you are a fucking cheat.
I am not a cheat. How have I cheated?
Console commands.
2 words.
They're in the game.
Commands. Like EA.
They're in the game.
In the game.
All the codes are in the game, mate. You fucking with them is called cheating.
No, I don't have to hack to get the console command. It's just I hit the button.
Depends on your
and
definition of hack, my friend.
I pushed what was it? Tilde key? What is that?
Tilda Swinton. The Swinton key.
The Swinton key.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I hit that. I'm there. I type in the code.
The androgyno.
Yeah.
It's not cheating.
Look, before we move completely away from lawsuits, I really don't want to give Alex Jones much airtime on our show because he doesn't fucking deserve it. And I also don't think
goblins.
I don't. Oh man, I just. Why did anyone ever listen to this man? Is what I want to know.
I don't know. For anything beyond comedy purposes,
he plays on people's fears
of goblins.
But the thing is, like he had a real platform though, like a legitimate platform.
He still does.
Yeah,
that's what's scary.
I mean, does he? Has he been quite quiet recently? I would be if
I thought he was still doing stuff. I thought he went straight from court to complain about court on TV or on his TV.
Well, I mean, it seems like his complaining worked because the victims of Sandy Hook who were suing him into bankruptcy have backed off and said, "Fine, we don't want to bankrupt you. You can pay."
Why not?
I think it's a sixth of the court ruling. They're going to be satisfied with 6%.
But
not a sixth, 6%.
Bankrupt him because he's not going to be normal people bankrupt. He's going to be rich person bankrupt, which means...
I don't know about that. I thought they found that he couldn't... he was not shielded, I thought, because... I don't remember the specifics. I saw an article recently. I think actually Trump's having the same issues now where because of the way that they did things, they're not shielded the way they probably thought they would be. From like if they say in America, if you have an LLC, like a limited liability company, that shields you from legal issues. But if I say I start an LLC and we put this show on there and I come on here and I start fucking saying shit about somebody that's like clearly not true.
What would you say, Matt? Just for example,
say for example,
what would you say?
I said Frank Langella was a monster, and he can still sue me, right? I've got an LLC. It doesn't matter. I said it. And I think that's the issue that Alex Jones is having, is it's not his company that did this. It's like he did it. He got on there and he did it with his own voice kind of thing.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is he gets sued, he goes bankrupt, but he's still got his company. Like he will be rich person bankrupt. Like he will still have stuff. He will still... He's not going to be working...
I thought they said he was literally going to be like... destitute.
That's what he said.
Okay.
That is what he said.
Maybe that was just a pleasant dream that I had.
Because he was trying to say he would be completely ruining all this, and then the judge basically went, but you just transferred all this money to here.
Yeah, well, so now he essentially is being advised by his lawyers to just fucking take this deal because he hasn't actually paid any money yet.
No.
He would be crazy not to take this deal.
They're like, you can just pay this 6%.
What is 6%?
This will literally be over 6% of a billion.
1.5 billion.
1.5 billion.
Right.
Let's work it. What is that? Somebody better at maths than me? 6.
I'm getting a calculator.
percent.
I've got my hard time is working out how many zeros that is.
1.5B. No. I'm just going to let Google figure out what I mean.
Oh yeah, good idea.
Oh, not bytes.
50 million, 150 million. Okay. Times 0.06.
What?
$90 million.
$90 million. It's still quite a bit of money, actually.
Fucking hell. All right.
But it's less than 1.5 billion. But this just goes to show, because to me, $90 million is more money than I could possibly spend. 1.5 billion is also a very high number. They're both just abstracts to me. You know, if somebody told them I owed them 900 million or 1.5 billion, I'd react the same.
Yeah.
Equally ridiculous. In no other scenario will you be getting that money. I don't have it.
Yeah, giving or taking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jones may elect to receive the complete discharge for himself and his parent company, also in bankruptcy, if he agrees to pay from any source at least $8.5 million per year, plus 50%.
He doesn't even have to pay a lump sum.
No, plus 50% of any income over $9 million per year for 10 years.
Okay, but how does that work?
Wow.
So he's bankrupt, personal bankruptcy. His company, I guess InfoWars, is also bankrupt.
Yeah.
That means he can't trade under InfoWars while he's listed as bankrupt. So
no
how
idea.
will he make that money back? Because you would thinking to InfoWars probably does make $10 million a year, but they can't, right? How does?
Well, no, bankruptcy. It's not an instant you can't do anything. It's
Right.
Because. Yeah, I don't quite understand how it works, but it's not the second a company's bankrupt, they're not. The second they're bankrupt, it's not instantly they stop trading or anything.
Right.
Lots of people go, hey, and then they'll bring in creditors and go, okay, so who do you owe money to? What assets do you have? And try and work out a way to do we get investors to come in who can help?
Sorry, you said what to who? Just after what had happened? Mate, you're a cunt.
It might be better for them too, right? Like, it's just say.
Yeah, because they might get something as opposed to zero.
Exactly. Yeah.
But here's the thing I sort of find, like, this is why I'm saying he's like rich person bankrupt, because you have to pay this and then you have to pay any income that you make over $9 million.
Yeah. You know what? That's fine.
Like
a year, $9 million a year.
Yeah, if you make over $9 million, that's ridiculous. Like if you're going to do that, make it. He has to pay 50% on income he makes over an average person's wage.
Just don't try too hard to make money anymore. Like, just
Try a little bit.
try $8 million worth of effort.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
What does $8 million worth of effort look like?
Yeah,
I'll do it just for 1 year.
Don't ask me, ask
and
Alex
then never again.
Jones. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I wouldn't need to do it for more than a year.
Especially if you go
Like, I'm pretty sure if you add it up, if at the end of my lifetime, all of my salary income, it won't add up to $8 million probably. That seems like a lot.
No, you'd be surprised. I think it might.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys.
You wouldn't be like doubling it or anything, but
no, but I mean, you've got it all. You've got it all in the bank account. Obviously, just have a look. How much is in there?
Yeah. Well, I mean, $4 billion because I'm halfway through my life. I'm middle aged, right?
Here you go.
Yeah, I don't know about. Did you not get that memo?
Here's the way I look at it.
We were all exposed to that stuff when we were teenagers. Remember?
Oh yeah.
The median income in America is $31,000. So for me, if you could say the median income is an average person can live off that, so 50% of everything that Alex Jones makes over that, he should be paying.
Fair.
I think that's fair.
I agree with that.
Well,
But
you
I'm
heard
a
it here
communist,
first.
so.
That's the deal. That's the deal we're offering him.
Look, last week on air, Matt, I recommended to you a little podcast called "Who Killed JFK."
Yeah. Yes.
Do we know who's done it yet?
Oh, well, yeah, I do know who's done it.
I do too,
but not because
yeah.
of this podcast, and I had to stop listening to it. When they said that the CIA were grooming Oswald since he was a 15-year-old kid to be a spy later in life, I turned it off. Later in that same day, I put it back on because I'm like, no, hear him out.
I just listened to it.
But when they said that his wife was a KGB spy,
Yes.
I was like, I'm out. They let
Her
him
dad.
take her to America and then beat her every day.
Yeah. I think her dad was the.
Yeah, so
but
her
either
dad
way,
apparently was-
ridiculous.
No, I'm out. I'm fucking out. You're grasping now.
And it's always like I get it. It's like it's very compelling and interesting, but like it's always just like one person said this. Like, why are you believing this one person over the 12 other people who said something different?
But they even kind of admit that. Like, there's one, they played an audio clip from one old fucking ex-CIA dude who spilled the beans on one particular thing. And then they said, you know, as soon as that came out, New York Times did a deep dive expose on how he was lying. So I guess they're in on it too.
Right, yeah.
Or he's lying and he's been completely discredited.
So this is what happens when someone goes in with the outcome already sorted in their head. They're not going in open-minded. They're going in with this is a cover-up.
Please do a sketch for YouTube where we're the CIA and it's the 60s and we're working out who needs to be involved in the conspiracy, and by the end of it, it's pretty much everyone
the whole world,
handful of conspiracy theorists who aren't in on it.
Yeah,
like, we're gonna have flowers at the funeral. Okay, all florists are gonna have to be in on it then,
just in case.
Yeah.
The one that got me the most, because they do this consistently, but this was a very, very stark example of, is they were talking to somebody. And this person was saying that most of the people that the Warren Commission interviewed, after all the interviews, they determined there were 3 shots fired, because that seemed to be the consensus. Except there was one guy who said there were 4 shots fired, or maybe more than one. But there was there's some suggestion that maybe there was a 4th shot.
So I'm guessing in his mind there were definitely 4.
But the way they say it is that like the Warren Commission, being idiots, said there were only 3. But actually there may have been 4. And we know that Oswald couldn't have fired 4 because the Warren Commission said that he didn't have time to. Okay, so the Warren Commission was right about
one thing.
That, but not about how many shots there were. Like, what are you can't use them as a source at all if you think they were full of shit.
I'm telling you, this is like the way flat earthers think as well. Like this is all conspiracy theories. Like I'll use them as a source to debunk you, but then also, they said this, so it's also true. So
the government are holding back alien bodies, and we have to believe because one other dude at the government said that they are. Is that okay? Well, can the government be trusted or not?
So I'm like, okay, so maybe let's just, for argument's sake, say there were 4 shots and the Warren Commission was wrong. Why could they not also have been wrong about how long Oswald had? Maybe Oswald just fired 4 shots, and that's as simple as that.
Yeah. I am interested.
Maybe the 3rd shot, or actually the first of the 3 shots that they thought didn't hit anyone and just went straight and hit the pavement.
Maybe it did.
Maybe that didn't. Maybe that got him as well.
That's the other thing too. That's the main evidence for the shot. Yeah, for one of the shots having missed was that some guy was like, "Oh, something hit me in the face."
Yeah. Not a bullet, mind you. Bit of shrapnel from a pavement. So he thought, okay, it must have been a bullet that hit the pavement.
Yeah, we don't. I mean,
but even with
really
that,
know
his
that
timing and recollection could be off. Like he's just
like the Warren Commission report makes the most sense. Like it might not be 100% correct, but that doesn't mean this outlandish stuff is like believable.
So if you want to actually get a very good detailed investigation, Matt, I've chucked you The Rest is History. They've done a 6-part investigation into it. These are historians. They basically said, if you learn everything there is to know about Kennedy and everything there is to know about Oswald, then it's not a mystery anymore.
Right.
Like Kennedy was everything Oswald hated, and he was a opportunistic killer that saw the opportunity to bring down, the person who represented everything that he hated about the United States. And even when you hear, so last week I said the only thing I don't understand is why Jack Ruby shot him the next day. And apparently, the reason he gave was that he wanted to spare Jackie
he was spent all night crying about how he felt horrible for him.
But apparently people have come forward and going, mate, the whole next day he was calling people going, what about Jackie? And we're like, mate, why do you care? But apparently he did. And apparently he was just some numbskull that just got it into his head that he was supposed to be the crusader for Jackie. But people want to be involved. People want to insert themselves into history. And maybe that's it.
Yeah. And he loved Kennedy, right? That's no surprise. Like he did. Everyone said that. So
the funny thing is too,
when you hear hoofs, it's more likely a horse than a zebra.
Yes.
I like that. That's a great one.
Wait.
Yeah.
Where have I heard that recently? Was that on this show or was it somewhere else?
Luke, probably. No, not on this show. I've never heard that before, but I'm gonna steal it and use it.
I'm gonna claim it's mine.
Funny, yeah. Just stay on it. Don't even just.
I think someone at work might have said that to me this week, and that's very strange.
Because you were going on and on about JFK. Like an insufferable fuckwit.
Because if he was a CIA operative and he was part of a conspiracy to kill Kennedy, why did he try to shoot that other guy 2 weeks earlier? And when he failed, yeah, exactly. And then they were just like, let's have him try again to shoot the president. Yeah. He seems like a good candidate now.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
He fired one shot through a window at a dude on the other side of that window and missed. And ran away instead of just firing a second shot. Is that the guy we should use?
Top covert operative.
I do have to ask. So they have said they are going to say who did it after this. Now, do we think they're actually going to say a name of person, or they're going to say CIA or something ridiculous?
What they've been saying makes it seem like they're going to say CIA.
Yeah, but they're not going to say like it's fucking, Jeff McGee from the 4th floor of CIA. Contact him at this address. Like,
so basically, we're going to name who did it. Is basically say it's a conspiracy and a whole lot of people were involved.
Yeah,
because they spent the first episode, which was very interesting, because it's not always covered in the assassination stuff. It was the leading up to all of that was Kennedy versus the CIA in a way. Kennedy trying to broker peace. Yeah, because he wanted peace with the Soviets and this kind of stuff, and his relationship with all the overseas leaders and stuff like that. It's very interesting and stuff I didn't know. And it's like, okay, sure, they didn't like him. That doesn't mean they fucking hired this idiot to shoot him.
Yeah, so actually they go through that, and
he's been training since birth.
Bugliosi does that in the book too, right? Goes through all the reasons why you would think the CIA or the government.
I don't think he went into it in that much depth, because I quite appreciated that, but he does touch on it for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, there's been worse opposition to the CIA, i.e., Donald Trump fucking hates the CIA, right?
Sure.
They didn't kill Trump, did they?
But why?
But maybe they're framing him for fraud.
If they wanted to take him out, why in that way? Like, it actually doesn't make much sense when you think about it.
There's easier ways to do it.
Exactly.
Well, it's like they said, it's LBJ. He's the one who benefited the most because he became president. It's like, sorry, LBJ from Texas lives in Washington next to the president, waits until he gets him back to his home state where it would be more obvious that it was him before he decides to do it, rather than, say, poisoning his soup one night.
Yeah. It just seems like a very convoluted.
Unless this goes deep, and they're like, what if it was so fucking stupid that no one would believe it?
And then, there was no guarantee Oswald was even going to be working at the book depository, because when he got hired, they were either going to put him there or in some fucking warehouse outside town.
Only that,
and
he was given that job. He was told about that job by the woman who housed his wife when they split up. She went and lived with this Quaker couple.
Right. So
and she was like, my husband doesn't even have a job, and she was like, I'll ask around my friends and see if someone knows about an opening.
Yeah, it was like a charity, basically offering like a pity job.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
All right, I'm going to call it. We're not going to discuss this more until they announce who did it.
Okay, fine. Sorry, listeners.
One more thing that Bugliosi did say was that he said if he added up all of the different people that had been accused of it, that how many shooters and he calculated that if everyone's right, there was something like 136 shooters on that day. And it's a miracle that there was anything left of Kennedy to even autopsy at that point.
I don't know why we still discuss it, because I saw a documentary and I know who shot him. JFK.
Oh, it was in Red Dwarf.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
they took the president back in time to shoot himself
or the dad from what's that show? The show by the guy from My Chemical Romance, Umbrella Academy.
Yes, that's by the guy from My Chemical Romance.
Yeah,
I thought that's what you meant until you said that. Oh, I didn't know that. There you go. Yeah.
All right. So you guys were mentioning how expensive cigarettes are in Australia the other week.
I was actually talking to people at work about this the other day, and I'm prepared to say I classify myself still as a smoker. I just can't afford to buy them.
Well, and if you were in New Zealand, you almost wouldn't have been able to. But then they backed out of it.
Actually, Luke still could have because he was a smoker at an age before the ban was put in place.
Is that how it works?
Yeah, so it was
what they were
basically
gonna
saying
do is say that there can be no new smokers.
Yeah, and it wasn't
don't
like they were
already
saying
smoke.
yeah, but they were going to say from like a certain year, like if you were born, I forget what year, but so if you're 16 now, you could still, I think, start smoking. But I think if you were 10 now, you would never be able to legally
Never
smoke.
be allowed.
Okay.
And they've completely
pretty
backed
smart.
out of it.
Yeah, right.
Because they're like, if you know, the people that are already addicted, no hope. They're going to keep smoking. But maybe if we can just make it so that the next generation never gets into it.
I mean, they don't as much these days, do they? Or am I naive about that? They're
Well,
all
no,
vaping.
Well, I mean, how does a 16-year-old afford a $65 pack of 20 cigarettes?
Well, it's not like that here, I suppose. But then they're not going to ban it here. So.
I actually thought this was a
They're
good
not
way
going
to
to ban
go
it in New
about it.
Zealand either. They've backed out. And you know why? Because they worked out how much tax they would lose in a year.
Yeah, not surprised.
It's as
Well,
simple
here's
as
the
that.
thing though, like, because I thought they were doing it a smart way because it wasn't going to stop selling cigarettes ever. It's just you're never going to get new people, and so your income would gradually die off from it.
Yeah.
So I'm actually,
It's a shame.
yeah. So it was to stop. So the legislation was to stop people born after January 2009 from ever being able to legally buy smokes.
2009. So people that are 14 now.
Could still, which is sort of a good way to do it because there are people, I guarantee there are people who are 13, 14 that are still sort of starting to buy that cigarettes at that age, starting to smoke at that age. So they're
I
not
was
doing
that
a.
young when I started. You guys weren't that young, were you?
I was 15,
I think I didn't start until I was
maybe
17 or
14.
18.
I don't remember. Would have been...
I didn't smoke in high school, but I started straight after.
I started smoking at a canteen camp.
Probably
So camp for teenagers with cancers.
Could be 16, probably. I don't recall exactly. Yeah, actually, no, that makes sense. Yeah.
I'm thinking 15. I don't maybe 14, but I think more 15.
Well, it's
But that's
dumb.
I thought this was a good way to do it. Like, so did they? Do we know why they've backed out? Is it just the money?
It's just the money. It's just the money.
That sucks. That's a shame.
Oh.
No, apparently there's been other tax cuts, and they're like, mate, we need that sweet tobacco money back.
I mean, it is a lot of money. Like inflation doesn't explain that increase in price.
Well, it's not in. Well, in Australia, it's not inflation. You're not paying.
No, I know.
It's not tax. You're paying an excise.
Ooh.
I don't know what that is.
Excisist?
I think that we don't want you to have it, so we're going to make it prohibitively expensive. It's still available if you're willing to. If you've got $65 every day.
Hey, it
That's
worked on
insane.
me.
Because I mentioned how much you said they were, and Jenna was like, "Oh yeah, but how long would a pack like that last you?" And I was like,
Half a day.
"Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I used to smoke 2 packets a day.
yeah." People
I
smoke
mean, that's a lot.
maybe
That's a
more than
lot.
you realize.
I did smoke a lot.
It
was quite annoying 'cause
I would try to make a pack last 2 days. So I would try to smoke 10 cigarettes a day.
The annoying thing about
I would
me
try and
is also
smoke 10 a day.
because I
Yeah.
smoke.
Force them down.
I'd have to try now. Fuck. The last time I had one, I was like, this is disgusting.
I don't
It's
want to
making me sick.
fucking.
I
ages.
still walk past. I still go outside with smokers so I can sort of secondhand smoke, or when they'll be rolling a cigarette, I'll smell their tobacco.
Nah,
Still love
I'm
it.
done. I mean, I guess I was never as hardcore as you, Luke, but just like no
I used to
interest in
smoke
it.
the strongest cigarettes there were, which sucked if you ran out of cigarettes and you had to get smokes off someone else because
It was good if someone wanted to bum one off you and they're like, I'm not taking a 16.
Yeah, special filter. Ugh.
But no, they'd still take it and they go, yuck, this is horrible. When I get theirs, I go, I can't taste anything.
Oh,
when
thanks for
you
the
pull the butt
air.
It's probably healthier for me to smoke them than when I was smoking.
Someone did tell me once that if you smoke ones, you're breathing in cleaner air than if you just breathe in Sydney. But I don't know if that's the truth.
I guarantee you that is not true.
No, told to me as a fact, though. And
Yes.
as a journalist once told me, as a fact too good to check.
Very good. Oh, I watched a movie this week.
I see that you've watched a movie, and I'm keen to hear what you thought.
Well, I watched 3 movies.
Oh, wow.
Because
You watched the other two?
Jenna hadn't seen the other 2, so we watched Murder on the Orient Express, which I loved again. In fact, I quite liked it more this time. It's
okay.
good.
Yeah, I'll watch it again. No, you know why you liked it more? Is because when it was out the first time, you were iffy on Johnny Depp. Now he's a hero again. So,
That's probably what it was. And then Death on the Nile, I like more, I think. And I think I said that last time, but I maintain that that's the case.
I
That's
believe
good.
I felt the same too.
Yeah, good.
I've only seen them each once, though.
A Haunting in Venice was very disappointing.
No.
Oh.
Was it? It looks so good.
It's okay for the first third of it. I was like, oh, it's beautiful. Like it's shot. Like it's this. Yeah, this set's beautiful. Set in Venice. Like it's got like this. It switches to these really wide lenses when something weird's going on. It's like just I was like, oh, this is cool. Then
But
it's just
lets you
not
down.
as like murder mystery
Right.
as the others. It's
Right.
like,
Is it because
I
it's
don't know.
not so contained? I mean, that's Orient Express. No one can leave the
this-
train. Death on the Nile, they're on a boat.
they're stuck in a
Like-
building. Not to
Okay,
spoil
so
anything.
it's the
They're
classic
stuck in a
Agatha
building.
Christie.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that has that. It's like, I feel like the ghosty stuff overshadowed
Right.
the murder mystery. You know?
But also the stakes of being trapped in a building is a little bit different being trapped on a train or a boat.
Oh, I mean, with a murderer, Luke.
Well, it's not always that they're trapped. Like some of them are just, we're at a country house for the summer.
Right.
Someone's dead. It has to be one of us because no one else was here. Like that's the Agatha Christie formula.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just leave.
Remember when she disappeared? I mean, not remember, we weren't there. But you know, she like disappeared for years and then just resurfaced and said she was in a fugue state.
I didn't know that.
She
Agatha
said she has
Christie.
no. Yeah, she missing for years and then was like, I've got no memory of that time. Don't know what happened to me.
That's scary.
Yeah, so it's either true and it's scary,
Or she just wanted a holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was like, "Fuck you guys."
It wasn't in the 40s, was it?
It was in the 40s. Yeah.
It was it. Oh boy.
Yeah. Sorry. What are you implying, man?
Was she in Germany? Is what I'm implying.
I don't think so, but
Okay.
who the fuck knows? He won't admit to it. No, I think it was actually in the 20s or 30s.
Okay.
But I mean, that's when that shit got started. You know?
Yeah.
Are you implying a popular author from England went to Germany, said off Hitler here, I'd like a chat? Yeah,
I think I'm not implying that.
views.
Matthew Ham LLC is implying that.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Come at me, lawyers. Yeah. Come at me, Hitler's lawyers.
Agatha Christie's lawyers.
Yeah.
Anyway,
watched
yeah,
it this week,
fine.
and it's because you mentioned it last week, Matt, because we were talking about The Killer by David Fincher.
Yes.
And you said that you remember Girl with the Dragon Tattoo being a top tier Fincher movie, and I was like, I remember it being that too. I want to see if it holds up. It does. Fucking excellent movie.
Okay.
So good. I read the book of Girl with the Dragon Tattoo and thought it was pretty good. Didn't think it was great, but thought it was pretty good.
Stieg Larsson, the author.
Yeah. Posthumously published as well.
I didn't know
Died
that.
before the
There
success
you
of
go.
it. Yeah, all of them, no success during his life.
That's so
And
sad.
I also had seen, so I thought it was just fine little mystery book. Not little, it's fucking thick as fuck. Then I also saw the Swedish TV movie adaptation and thought it was just fine as well. So even with having seen another movie version and read the book, David Fincher's version of it is still fucking excellent.
Yeah, so maybe I shouldn't bother with the others. I know I've got access to this streaming service that is called, I forget what it's called, but it's all international TV shows and stuff, and it's got tons of like Nordic
noir
and stuff. Yeah,
Well,
on there.
let us know what that is. I want to see if we can get that.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, I'll figure it out after. I won't. Oh, you know what? Talk amongst
So
yourselves.
speaking
I'll
of
check my email.
overseas TV, and I need something from you, Luke. You know, we talked last week.
I need
about
something
how
from
it's-
you after this, so you go
All right,
first.
okay, yeah.
To trade.
Okay, that's fair. You said last week that Australia gets both American and British comedy.
Yes.
Right? And I think I'm so often disappointed by American comedy. I just don't think it's for me. I just don't think their sense of humor is what tickles me.
Yeah.
Right? I'll just lean much more to the British. But I'm so out of the loop now with that. I don't know what to watch. So, Luke, I know that you are the aficionado of British comedy. What should I watch? I want it scripted. I don't want you to say 8 out of 10 cats. I need scripted comedy from the UK.
Plebs.
What should I be watching? Plebs?
Plebs.
All right.
I just found it. There's 5 seasons. I just watched it. I enjoyed it. It's silly.
Okay, silly's fine. I can do silly. Plebs, done. Okay.
There's that, or if you haven't seen it before, Friday Night Dinner.
Nope, never heard of this either. Friday night dinner.
The service I've got it's called Topic.
Apparently you like
Topic.
Tom Rosenthal because he's in both of those.
Yes, I do.
Topic, and I'm looking at it. It's got such shows as Spiral, Agatha Christie's Hjersen, The Killing, the original.
I have seen the original. It's very good.
Yeah. The Bridge, which I know you said was good, and I don't think I've watched that yet.
Oh, The Bridge is excellent.
Yeah.
And it's been remade several times. So watch the original Nordic one.
Okay,
Speaking
yeah,
of,
that's what this is. Yeah.
Speaking of The Killing, so did you know that Joel Kinnaman
Yes.
is in Girl with the Dragon Tattoo as just like a background guy with only one line? And it must have been made before he was famous.
Wow. Okay.
You know that he works in an office in Stockholm, and but he's been fired or he's kind of quit, right? There's just one day where he's in the office towards the start of the movie, and his office mates are there. Joel
he's
Kinnaman's
there.
one of them. Yeah.
There you go. I'll have to watch that. I have to watch it anyway, but
We can get Topic here, so I might look into
Yeah.
this.
Ah.
take a peek.
Luke, have
You
you
guys-
seen Stath Let's Flats?
No.
That one's been recommended to me too.
Is that like Foot
By my
Rock
brother.
Flats?
Yeah, I think. In the unstable world of London's property market, Stath tries to prove himself as the perfect heir to his father's flat-letting business despite his undesirable personality and incompetence. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. I might give that a try. Now, what I need from you.
Oh,
What are you doing on the 20th or 21st of December?
Yeah, okay. Oh, wait.
is it just
I
Dan
am
or
not
this for
going to
me as
schism
well?
with you. If
Or
that's what this is, I'm not
all the
going.
listeners too. Oh, Tism.
No, it is not Tism. No. I may need you to bust me out of hospital.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I'm always down for a heist. Yeah.
Yep. Because I go into hospital in a couple of weeks. I come out on either the 20th or the 21st.
Oh, and you want to do the show?
Yes. No. I'll do the show in hospital.
Oh,
I'll just
okay.
do it from hospital. But no, Hannah's going to drive up on the 21st to catch a plane to go home
Right.
to Brisbane. And so hopefully the timings work out and I get checked out on the 21st and she can collect me. But she may not.
But
I
if
may
not,
get out a day early.
Busted out. Yep.
So
Can.
I need someone to collect me and then I need to stay with you.
I'll put it in the diary. Okay. Well, I wouldn't say that's a fair swap for telling me about plebs, but sure.
Thank you.
I will need to sleep in your bed.
Yes.
Don't ask. I have to
spare
be
bed
monitored.
right here.
I've got to. No, it's got to be your bed. I've got
Yeah,
to be
you can
monitored
use a spare
for
bed.
24 hours.
Yeah.
You'll have to
That's
sleep
right.
next to him.
Yeah. Well, I hope you like little dogs sleeping up real close because that's what happens in my bed as well.
Yeah, because
Well,
Dan likes to do this and like.
Yeah. That's right. I
sleep.
will lick you
Well,
all night.
I'll be happy with that because it's going to be a week without me sleeping with one of my cats.
Just one of them? But you got to take the other cats?
No, only one of them sleeps with us.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The others don't know where they go.
Don't know where they go. Yeah.
Yeah, only Atlas sleeps with us, and when I say with us, I mean literally just on top of Jenna.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just
Which,
where
I
he
mean,
sleeps.
in all fairness, it's supposed to be your spot. Right? As the husband, that's where you should be.
So what the plan is, next week I'll be
He was there
recording as
first.
normal.
Oh, that's true.
Next week, I record the next week after that, I might be here or I might be recording. I might not be on, or I'll be recording from a hospital bed.
Right, but you will be in hospital either way. You just may or may not be conscious enough to record.
Yes.
Okay. If you can just, like, if you want to just pop on for a bit, and then if you have to leave, that's fine. I think whatever.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
Or if you're not up for it, that's fine, obviously. But
No, I know.
The
listeners want to see drugged up Luke.
We can pressure him off air.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you guys watch the Furiosa trailer?
Yeah, I did.
No.
It looks good to me, but it looks more CGI than I want.
I thought that too, and then I had to remind myself that usually by the time trailers come out, the CGI isn't finished.
Yeah, and I know there was a lot of CGI in Fury Road, but
fake skies and stuff.
Yeah, but it was also a lot of practical effects, which you can. There's a fucking amazing YouTube video of just them of a super cut of
basically
all
they shot it all for real, but then they just added some CGI in.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
just to
green screens are behind them.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know what that's
looking
about.
at it now.
Yeah.
Because this is the spin-off to Mad Max, isn't it? Because this isn't a Mad Max movie as such.
It's a prequel about her.
It's a prequel to Fury Road, specifically.
I mean, it looks good. Don't get me wrong. It's just.
I mean, it looks like it's more of the same, which I'm happy with. You know, another car chase through the Aussie outback.
It's just that the Fury Road had just this because they literally just blew the fucking cars up and smashed them into each other and filmed it. Like it just had this.
They bought heaps of 5Ds and put them in cars and crashed those cars and then fished out the memory sticks from the wreckage.
And I don't know. I mean, maybe some people can't tell, but I could. When you watch that versus CGI, it just does something. Like my brain is just like, fuck yeah, like adrenaline. Like
I just watched a scene where she's like on the back of like a semi-trailer shooting back, and that's not cars crashing into stuff.
Yeah,
it's not.
I mean, Fury Road had that a bit, so I'm just hoping there's not too much of it in this.
Fury Road surprised me, and I was always a Mad Max fan, but I'd go as far as saying this is the best one. Like I thought Fury Road was hands down the best.
I thought it was fucking amazing,
and I went to see it.
I couldn't believe
thinking,
it when I saw it.
Okay, well I've liked the other three. I'll probably like this a bit too. And I came out going, that was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And this is George Miller again.
Yep.
He only makes these, I think, and he's not going to let someone else make one.
That Happy Feet sequels.
Yeah, that's true. and yeah, no more Babes though.
Oh no, he did the one about the genie with Idris Elba and the Tilda Key.
Oh, I didn't see that.
No, I didn't.
Neither did I.
It didn't look
great,
like something I wanted to see.
No, I know about it because a friend of ours who worked on Furiosa also worked on that. That's why I remember that.
I watched something else this week, and I just want to mention it because it links back to this. Just unnecessary use of CGI. So I watched Shutter Island, which is a very good movie.
Yeah, it's good.
It's very good. And if you know the twist, I won't spoil it, but if you know the twist, watch it from the start again. They tell you from the start of that movie.
I think I've only seen it once. I should do that.
It's really interesting because you realize that things can have two meanings because they spell it out for you, but you don't know it. You don't pick it. Like I did not pick this until the reveal. But when you watch it again, everyone's essentially telling him how things really are. He just doesn't hear it. Right?
Yeah, right.
And neither do you because you don't know to listen for it yet. And it's shot on this beautiful island with this creepy old building on it, which I assume is a real island. You know, they walking around it.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
But a lot of the movie is just two people talking like on the edge of a cliff or on the front of a boat or on the roof of a building or on a lighthouse. And they seem to have just done that all in studio with a green screen background. And I guess it's to get good audio and to have, not have the wind and stuff. But it just takes you right out of it because you'll see two people walking along what's clearly a real road and then they'll stop and it'll cut to close-ups that are just clearly a green screen. You don't have to do that.
Because it's bad era green screen?
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be. It should be better by, what is this, a 2008 or something movie? Or 2006? It should be...
It's Scorsese too, right?
Yeah.
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 You know,
I mean, he doesn't do a lot of CGI, so maybe he doesn't.
Well, and when he does, I was
do
just going to say when he does, like in the Irishman, where everyone was like calling that out too. Maybe he shouldn't do that.
That was just okay. That one. That was 3 hours of just okay.
See, I think there's times to use CGI and there's times not to, and I think that's one of like why.
Did you see that interview with Ridley Scott recently, where he said Scorsese he said I've made 5 films in the time that Scorsese made his last one and his most recent one. It's like, that's not a brag, dude.
Yeah, it's not a fucking race, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, look at the reviews of Napoleon. Like, that's not. Maybe you should have slowed down a bit.
I'm keen to see Napoleon because everyone's like.
Oh, I'll watch it.
Most people are kind of criticizing it because it's just this like, insufferable fuckwit slouching around.
Ridley Scott.
Joaquin Phoenix, man. But I mean, as far as I can tell, that's what Napoleon was like. Like, that's the kind of the interesting thing about Napoleon was that this wasn't some kind of nationalist movement. This was one dude who rallied a whole country out of, like this strange, like,
and didn't
post-revolution poverty and just put them all in the army. And
he was the first person to say, no, all of the citizens, you're all in the army now, and all the other countries like, well, we can do that.
Yeah, they're like, if you're a seamstress, you're a seamstress for the army.
Yeah.
If you're a baker for the army. We're an army. Yeah. So I'm interested to see it.
Yeah.
Did you see what Francis Ford Coppola, director of such classics as Dracula and The Black Stallion? I'm being facetious. He also made The Godfather and Apocalypse Now. But he's basically said he loved Napoleon.
Oh, okay.
And he was like they should give Ridley a knighthood, and somebody was like,
I
gave him a knighthood, and so he was like, well, a dukedom then. Whatever's next after that.
Give him the next thing. Yeah. Promote him in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'd like to watch it. I watched. A really good thread on Twitter with some historian who was like, he said he really liked it, but there were bits where he was like, and it annoyed him. He was like, these are the spots where it plays pretty loose with the facts.
But you need to with a movie because real life is boring.
It's not a documentary. Yeah.
No, I agree.
Even the life of Napoleon probably has some boring bits.
But he had some interesting insights that I would never have noticed, because he said even there were things like there were sections later in the film where you'd see Napoleon just riding on a horse, and he would go, well, that's the clothing from 20 years ago. That's obviously a scene that they shot in this other battle, and he's just moved it here, and he's thinking no one's going to notice, but I fucking noticed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd be like, if we saw someone dressed from the 80s, we'd know it, but somebody from the year, 20.
But it's just a dude in a Napoleon hat. It doesn't look any different to us. But this guy's like, well, those aren't the right medals or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, you got to let it's a movie.
Yeah. No, I think this guy said he liked it.
But also, I think there's something to be said, like, we take for granted that things are totally different now than they were 10 years ago. Whereas through most of human history, your entire life was pretty much the same as your parents' entire life.
Sure.
And probably your grandparents' entire life. Clothes weren't changing that much, not that quickly. Technology certainly wasn't changing that quickly unless you were in like 2 or 3 really key periods in history.
Is it the mechanical revolution or what was it? There was Industrial Revolution. That's the one where we basically went from really slow to where we are today, like very quickly.
Yeah. Well, even the computers, right? Fuck, man. Like, they've literally changed the world.
Computers are not even 100 years old.
Yeah. I know, it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. And certainly not home computers, not personal computers.
If you had told the 3 of us when we were in high school that we would be doing this on our computers, we'd have been like, how? Like,
what do you mean? Yeah.
I mean, we were just going to be typing to each other on the forum.
I think it'd be some kind of blocky, like
Max Headroom.
Of us, Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But even like we've been doing this for over 10 years now, but even like what we're using is gotten a lot better. Like,
I know.
Remember when we first started trying to use video, we'd have dropouts, we'd have stuff.
I've got a photo.
The newest episodes are inaudible.
I've got a photo of the setup from the first episode, which actually I'll post up, listeners, if you want to see
please
it.
Do. A Winnie photo, or is it just the setup?
No, it's a photo of the desk in the Nexus, which is a spare room we had at the apartment Dan and I lived in, with the table with the 4 microphones on it, and I went to what was that fucking music store in
Billy Hyde.
No, not Billy Hyde. Smithy's in Camperdown.
Smithy's,
Yep.
And I bought a preamp because I was like, because we were just like, how the fuck do you record
We're gonna
4
plug
people
these
at
all
once?
into. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. 4 computers.
yeah. So
And where Dan used to drum on the table. No, Dave used to drum on the table.
yes. And we'd all just like start talking amongst ourselves. While someone else was
That's
talking.
right. Yeah.
And so the podcast just sounded, it was just fucking incomprehensible.
Yeah.
And I had to drive up once a month and we record 4 episodes in one go.
Yeah, that's right.
And we've saved you from listening to those listeners. If you want to go
Yes,
back, you
they're
can listen
big
to the 2 Remember the Time episodes that compile the...
I'd like to. Do you know the numbers of those? Because I'd like to go back and listen to them as well.
If you go to multiplenerdgasm.com and just type Remember the Time in the search box, that'll probably work.
And because we've said search box, it's time to plug the Patreon.
The Patreon, what's that?
Patreon is where you can get just a little bit extra. If you're not ready for the show to end, it doesn't have to.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Patreon.com/multiplenerdgasm or multiplenerdgasm.com/Patreon. Both will take you there.
Oh,
Is that
really?
right?
I'll double check that but before this episode goes up, but yep.
And we've got and we've got our new limited price on that, don't we?
We do.
We've dropped it down.
We do. For $1 a month, you will get access to the Patreon community, and we post random shit up there from time to time, and you can interact and whatnot. And you get the show early. You'll get a custom RSS feed. You can subscribe to this as a podcast, and also I post the video version of the show up. It goes up a day early, and there will never be any ads. There aren't any ads anyway right now.
No.
And we're not sure there ever will be. But if there ever were, you
won't get them.
You wouldn't have to see or listen to them. And then for $5 a month, you can get the after party, which we advertise as another 10-20 minutes of show. We've been pushing up to 30-40 minutes, but I don't want. We're not promising anything.
No.
But we've been a bit chatty lately. So so basically,
it's about today too. So
so it's an extra at least 20 minutes of the show usually. So
yeah. And now's the time to do it if you've been thinking about it or just you want to check it out. It's $5.
yeah, $5.
So now's the time.
Whatever you give, it does help us to put this on because we don't make any money from it.
yeah.
It just helps with.
Yeah, that's why we have the $1 tier as well. It's like just
No, it really
paying
yeah.
$1 that covers the costs.
Yeah, pays for the website, pays for the service we used to record this, StreamYard, which is excellent, by the way. If you're looking to do a podcast, these are not sponsored in any way.
No.
But we've found StreamYard to be fucking awesome.
No, this
just
week's
made
podcast
life
is
so much
sponsored by the
easier.
Open Hand Charity. Donations can be made at multiplenerdgasm.com/scams.
Open hand. Oh,
Closed hand.
closed hand. Closed fist.
It's open to receive the money and then it closes.
Yeah.
And then goes into my pocket.
Yeah.
And then opens and then comes back out again and opens.
A little teaser in the after party today. I'd love to hear what your Spotify Wrapped sum ups at the end of the years are. So
I'll tell you what mine is.
I have to do YouTube Wrapped because I don't use Spotify.
My number one my number one Spotify rap song will shock you.
Oh, nice. You'll never guess what happens next. And we need a circle around something on the thumbnail. Apparently,
just something irrelevant
around something.
Oh yes, that is a thing.
Can we do a circle around just something, and then can I get I just need a photo of Luke going.
Yeah, that's right. Luke, do it.
I'll send you one.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
So I can just put that on every thumbnail.
Yeah. You'll never believe what they talk about this week.
Super sexy sniper wolf.
What finally shot
Super sexy
Luke into
sniper
leaving the
Luke.
show?
Sniper Luke.
Sniper. You know what's funny? No, you know what?
After party.
Save it for the after party.
You only find out what's funny in the after party.
Well, that's one, Dan. I like that.
Yeah. That's like 4 cliffhangers piled up together.
Who says we're bad at marketing?
That's all for this week. Thank you for listening and we hope you enjoyed the show. If you enjoyed it, then please subscribe in iTunes to receive episodes automatically. We'll see you next time.